Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru specialist from Subaru Prince George here. And today I have the pleasure of going through the 2025 Subaru Outback Touring in the Cosmic Blue with you. So this is the mid-level trim Outback here in Canada. Touring is the top end in the States. I'm sure I'll get someone from the US saying, oh, that's not a Touring. Touring has leather. Touring is cloth in Canada. It's the mid-trim. This is essentially a lifted wagon. That's the old Outbacks were lower to the ground. This is a lifted wagon. And this has the same body style as the refresh on the 2023s. We've got that larger, more aggressively shaped grille with the gray wings out of the logos, leading into our smaller, more aggressively styled LED steering responsive headlights. These do have high beam assist as well. We've got forward-facing LED fog lights. We've got those faux vents at the edge. Gives it a boxier, more aggressive front look for sure. This is powered by a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder boxer engine. You get 182 horsepower. It's a good balance of power and efficiency. There is a 2.4 liter turbocharged option available in some of the other trims, but the majority of people find this more than adequate. We also have 8.7 inches of minimum ground clearance, which is more than your standard half-ton pickup. So tons of ground clearance. These are perfect for our winters here in the north. 17-inch aluminum alloy wheels and a 225/65 R17 tire size. We've got cladding around the wheel wells, a la Subaru, and it does extend along the bottom. And you got Outback in silver there. And the cladding is really in places that would typically get beat up by rocks, and plastic doesn't rust. So that's why Subaru's done it. Some people like the cladding, some people don't. It does have its benefits. Our Outbacks have black painted mirror caps. The Touring gets the integrated turn signals. These are just manual fold, easy enough. Up top, Outback Touring does get the tilt and slide sunroof, and all of our Outbacks, with the exception of the Wilderness, have these built-in roof rails with the tie downs integrated in the front and rear. We have crossbars built in, and you simply flip them across, flip the other side across, and it locks in the corresponding hole. So you have crossbars when you need them. You can tuck them away for aerodynamics and less chance of wind noise when you don't need them. So it is hugely beneficial. I love the convenience that they offer. Fuel door, rear passenger side, and when you lock the driver door, pin shoots out, locks in the hole there. When you unlock it, obviously it retracts and allows you to open it. Use regular fuel in these. You don't need to put premium, unless you're towing something, in which case that may be beneficial to you. I do like the styling of the taillights on here, the black side, and it extends. I think it looks sharp. Rear bumper. The Touring is the first trim level where you get backup sensors integrated into the rear bumper, and they'll actually apply the brakes if it thinks you're gonna hit something in reverse between speeds of 1 and 15 kilometers an hour. Now, I'm just gonna pause the video for a second. I'm gonna turn it off so I can show you guys the proximity tailgate. Be right back. So I'm at the back of the Outback. The proximity gate is turned on. You can disable it, and so long as you have the fob on your person, in your backpack, right here, all you have to do, and you don't have to have the key out, you block the logo, there's a small audible chime, and you back up, and it opens. This just has to be on your person. Super easy to use, it's convenient, and you don't have to block it with your hand. It could be a box, your elbow, your back, whatever, and it opens up. Great if you've got stuff in your hands and you're trying to load it. And there's a ton of room behind the second row seats in the Outback. Cargo tray, standard equipment. There's a little bit of a lip to help contain any spills. Privacy cover is also standard, and it's 2-stage. So the idea with this one is you open it with proximity, your hands are full. That's not a lot of height to fit a box if it's a taller object. All you do, push on it, and it retracts. Much taller, easier to use, or of course, you can just retract it. And this is easy to remove as well, should you need to. You just press that button and lift up, and it'll all come out. We have grocery bag hooks on the side. We have a 12-volt power point for any charging needs, little storage cubby. We have nice hard mount physical tie downs in each corner, make securing awkward cargo easy. This is the front plate bracket. We don't install them until someone takes delivery, just in case someone doesn't want it. And then underneath this false floor, lift that up. We have this little hook here. It took me forever to learn what that's for, but that is the best thing ever. If you ever need to change your spare tire, hide anything, tuck the privacy cover under here. You've got your spare tire tools, your eye bolt for recoveries, your jack, and you've got your spare tire. Hardest part is putting this back in one-handed. But it is very, very handy. Hopefully, none of you need to spend a whole bunch of time using that, but it is there. Now, if you need to increase the amount of storage you have, simply pull on the handle and the corresponding side drops, and you can dramatically increase the amount of storage you have in your Outback just by doing that. It's long enough to sleep in. I'm a bigger guy, just under 6'2". I could fit in an Outback and camp comfortably. In the rear hatch, LED cargo light it'll shut off when we close the hatch. And to close it, I can pull down, I can press, I can lock and close, I can do the key fob. There's a button by the driver's seat. But if I do this, it beeps, it flashes, and when you do that, it's actually gonna lock. And now we'll confirm that. So the idea is you don't have to fish your keys out of your pocket or walk back up front and lock the doors after you close your hatch, which is great. Second row, there's great headroom, great legroom. Taller passengers are gonna fit comfortably. The seats fold up very, very easily. You can do it one-handed. And this is the dark gray / black cloth upholstered interior you get in the Touring. Kind of a two-tone with the white / gray contrast stitching. We have a fold-down armrest with integrated cup holders. Easy access to the latch system, the lower anchors and tethers. It's just a Velcro piece right there. Makes it really easy to put in car seats, child restraints, that sort of thing. And these seats can be reclined, so that's fairly up and down, fairly normal, but if you need to recline, you simply pull on that, and if you're already sitting in the seat, you just lean. And you can recline. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not like sitting in a lazy boy, but it's enough you may be able to take a nap should you need, and you just pull up on that and it returns. Now, out of the center console, we do have vents to increase airflow to the second row, in addition to the vents underneath the front seats facing rearward. 2 USB ports to keep everyone connected on those longer trips, and we do have a map back pocket on the rear of the front passenger seat, in addition to the rear of the front driver's seat. So storage is not really an issue in these. We've got a textured step, which they want you to use if you're loading something on the roof. It kind of puts you dead center of the roof rails. You're centered in the vehicle. They want you standing on that instead of the tire because, one, the tire sits fairly far inside the fender, like a decent amount, and then two, if I'm standing on it, I'm right at the back here, and I'll probably end up leaning, putting myself in a potentially precarious situation. Subaru's all about safety. Actually, speaking of safety, we have that little notch there. I get asked about that fairly often. That's what this extra side impact crash safety bar, that silver pin right there, locks into, and that is designed to help reduce the chance of intrusion into the passenger cab in the event of a side collision. Hopefully none of you ever need to experience that either. Rear door card is soft touch, armrest is very soft touch. Handle feels good, even where you put your thumb is soft touch. Nice little touch there by Subaru. Got a little bit of storage with the bottle holder, and all 4 windows are auto power windows in this. Kind of a rarity to see auto windows in the second row of a vehicle. Child locks if you need them. Important to note, this side is not tied to that side. You need to do them individually, just so you're aware. Up front, with the proximity key to lock it, so long as the key's on your person within 46 inches, we have these lines, and it locks it. Wait a second. There is also a visual and audible cue. I don't know if the mic picked up the audible, but to unlock it, I simply put my hand in, and it unlocks. Very easy to use. Front door card, very similar to that of the rear in terms of soft touch materials. All 4 power auto window controls, window lock, power mirror adjustment, and a little bit more storage with the bottle holder there. Front driver's seat is, of course, power, including lumbar, and it's the same seating material up front as it is in the second row, just with a little bit more bolstering. These seats are exceptionally comfortable for long distance driving, and the headrests in these are tiltable to several degrees. And you just pull all the way forward and it goes up. On the inside, dash, soft touch, carpet. We've got the ability to open the rear hatch. We can turn off that proximity sensor for the rear door if we didn't want it working. And we've got a scroll wheel for the brightness of the gauges. So depending how sensitive your eyes are at night, that can be hugely beneficial. Foot on the brake, light goes green when the key's inside the vehicle. Green means go. We have our blind spot detection indicators on both side mirrors, and you may have noticed there were some LEDs flashing up on the windshield there, and those are part of the EyeSight system. They give you different, let's say, indicators as to what's going on. I have a video covering that, and I will include that in this video description, and you can follow that link to the video and watch that. Inside, we have our leather-wrapped heated steering wheel, and it is a full heated steering wheel with the exception of down here. That's kind of where the heating elements come out. Gets nice and toasty. The left-hand side of the steering wheel, we have our Bluetooth and audio controls. You can accept calls, decline calls, issue voice commands, control volume up and down, switch from AM to FM to USB to Bluetooth, switch between presets all pretty much hands-free. Voice commands do a lot of it. You can access Google Assistant or Siri through there if you're using Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. Right-hand side, we have adaptive cruise and lane centering. Both of those use these 3 black boxes, those color stereo EyeSight cameras, to look for cyclists, road lines, pedestrians, and other vehicles. They added this 3rd wide-angle mono camera to increase the field of vision from left to right. And actually, speaking of vision, I'll just kind of give you my first-person view. And I think that the field of view in this is phenomenal. Virtually no blind spots. You have blind spot detection to help with that. It's not an excuse not to shoulder check, but it's a great aid. Now, when I turn on cruise, I get an image of the Outback, and you'll see 4 bars ahead of it all the way down to 1. That is the follow distance behind the vehicle ahead of you that you will follow at if you catch up while using cruise control. So 100 kilometers an hour, when you set your cruise, those 3 bars will change to whatever speed you set. If you catch up to someone, it'll show the vehicle, you'll get an audible, and you'll get a little green LED up there. If you're going 100 kilometers an hour, and they're going, well, we'll say you're going 110, they're going 100, you'll slow down to 100 and follow them at a distance of 150 to 180 feet. Good safe distance. You can follow closer each time you press down. You can reduce that. Now, lane centering is designed to work above 60 kilometers an hour. And when it's on, you get the little steering wheel and hands there. Above 60, if the lines can be seen, the road lines, they'll illuminate white on the corresponding side. And after that happens, if you get close enough to the line, it'll give you gentle steering input to kind of keep you centered and off of that line. It's a great feature for long distance driving. You're way less fatigued at the end of the day of driving. We have our steering wheel adjustment, which is tilt and telescopic. Very nice to have. We also have paddles on the back of the steering wheel, so we can manually select our own gear, even with the automatic CVT, if we want. Great for downshifting, going down hills. We have an 11.6-inch touchscreen infotainment system. It still has the plastic cover on it. We're leaving that on until the new owner takes possession, but that's why it's a little discolored right now. But this is all touchscreen, 11.6 inches. We've got our 4-ways, which I hope none of you ever need to use. We've got this top information portion, gives us what we're listening to, widgets, gauges, things that you can change around, and I always set them to the same ones if you've watched any of my other videos. Weather's part of your satellite radio trial, and you get access to X mode, which is like 4 low in a pickup. So that's for rough stuff under 40 kilometers an hour. You have to be going under 20 kilometers an hour to engage it, and it puts it in X mode. Turns a very, very capable vehicle into something even more capable. The main portion of the screen, we have radio, media, and phone, which are pretty self-explanatory. Media is anything that isn't integrated into the vehicle itself, so Bluetooth, USB, iPhone, iPod, auxiliary. So anything that's not built in. This button always takes us home. Phone allows you to hook up your phone to Bluetooth. Under apps, we have access to wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay. You gain access to the My Subaru app after the vehicle's registered in your name. Car info, driving statistics, you can set maintenance reminders, valet mode, locks people out of stuff. Auto vehicle hold is a brake holder for construction, drive through rush hour traffic. You can turn off traction control, and you can add additional shortcuts in the event there's somewhere in the settings you go often and you don't want to go through multiple screens. Very, very easy. You can also change these tiles around. It's a click and drag, kind of like a smartphone. Put it in reverse, backup camera pops up, rear assist braking's on, parking sensors are on, shows you the top of the bumper there so you have something to relate to, and you can clean the backup camera from inside the vehicle, which is the best thing ever in sloppy weather like we're experiencing today. We still have physical volume and tuning knobs, and then below that, we have our home button. We have the ability to disable auto start stop. You can turn on auto vehicle hold from there, and we have the ability to go into settings, vehicle control, driving assistant. You can turn off blind spot detection. You can change the digital speedometer to miles per hour, miles per gallon, super easy. Then we have our climate controls. So we have physical buttons on either side, and it goes up or down in 0.5 degree increments. Or we can click on the screen, we can drag, we can click, we can sync it back to driver controlled. We control where we want our airflow being directed, if we want AC on, max AC. And if you don't touch it after you make an adjustment, it just takes a few seconds, I think it's 4 or 5 seconds, and the screen is gonna disappear. So you don't have to worry about pressing that X top. Less time touching the screen, more hands on the wheel, essentially. We do also have heated seats, 3 stages for both driver and passenger. And you can just turn them all off, just press and hold a second. Big fan strength buttons, hard to miss. And you can turn off climate control altogether if you didn't want that. Below the screen, we have 2 USB ports, an auxiliary, and a wireless charger. Electronic park brake, you pull up to activate, and you have to have your foot on the brake and push down to deactivate. If your foot's not on the brake, it doesn't turn off. That's because they're making an assumption if you're using your parking brake in an automatic, you're probably on an incline, a fairly steep one. It is an automatic CVT with the manual mode where you use the paddles that I was talking about. Super deep cup holders, and we have a drink raiser. So great if you have medium or small drinks. Brings it up to a level where you're not just grabbing the lid, which is nice. Got a nice soft touch armrest. VIN sticker in there. We've got 12-volt power point, and we do also have, if it wants to open for me, change tray / card holder, and it is rubberized to reduce noise. Up top, this is my favorite feature ever in any vehicle. This is an auto dimming rear view mirror. So there's no switch to flick. It's got a sensor in it. If someone's got their brights on behind you, it just automatically dims. It's the best feature ever. We also have our compass, and we have our home link system. So you can hook up to 3 separate garage doors to your mirror. Very easy to do. There's 3 steps to do it, depending upon what sort of an opener you have. I'll also include the video from Subaru showcasing how to do that in the video description. We have our taco holder, sunglass storage. We have SOS, and we have concierge / roadside assistance. And that's accessed through the My Subaru button. You can book a service appointment. You can use concierge service. You can call for roadside. SOS is for medical emergencies, accidents where your airbags don't deploy or you feel generally unsafe for some reason. Blue is roadside / concierge. We've got our sunroof controls. We've got our map lights. And it is a manual shade for this, but it is tilt and slide. On both of our sun visors, we do have card holders, and then we have vanity mirrors with lights. And this, if the sun's directly at your left, you can pull, and it does slide, which is very, very nice. So that is a quick look at the 2025 Subaru Outback Touring in the Cosmic Blue, the mid-level trim Outback here in Canada. It's powered by a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder boxer engine. You get 182 horsepower out of it, 8.7 inches of minimum ground clearance, and of course, Subaru's legendary full-time symmetrical all-wheel drive. This is one of the few wagons left on the road. And yes, I can say it's a wagon because that is how it shows up on our insurance papers here. But overall, tons of storage, very functional vehicle, especially for those of us in the north who need to carry a bunch of cargo and still get good economy. So thank you for sticking with me, watching my walkthrough of the 25 Outback Touring in the Cosmic Blue. I'm Tyson, the Subaru specialist from Subaru Prince George. If you guys have any questions about this car behind me, any of the vehicles in our lineup, any of the tech, or you saw something in this video you want me to elaborate more on, please put it in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys. And if you're in British Columbia or willing to make the trip to northern British Columbia to purchase a Subaru, please reach out to me directly. I would love to help you find your perfect Subaru. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll talk soon.